Yeah.
TH4.
No, there's no need. Please stop. Please stop. Please stop. You will have your time to sing in a second, okay? Whew, it's close one, y'all. Just saved your life. Welcome back to the amazing and impactful episode of the True Health Forever podcast, where we show our best life through the lens of sus faces. I'm your host, Truvel, creator of Black Wall Street, the board game, and as usual, I have my singing, beautiful, curl-rific, smiling, health enthusiast, nerd queen herself. Please introduce yourself.
What's up, everybody? My name is Sinclair, aka
Theee.
the Health Nerd. Here joining you on a Sunday. It is Sunday, right?
It is.
A Sunday afternoon.
Yep.
It's hot, I think, per usual. I have not been outside. So from this here window, I'd say, based on the temperature radiating off of the window, I'd say it's about 84 degrees.
84. Go ahead and check that. It was cold-ish this morning, and while I get into how cold it was this morning, this episode is sponsored.
Ooh, 83 degrees. I'm nasty with it.
Okay. I see you, oh human body temperature person. Yeah. Well, we are watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That may be your gift. that may be your gift.
I'll take it.
But this episode is sponsored by Ona Power for beating me up today at the basketball court. I hope you watch this, sir.
It's not okay.
Oh, I'm very hurt. 2 days of basketball in a row. And yeah, I guarded Ona, who's basically a professional athlete running around. Speeding Gonzalez. Very, very, just young, strong, running around for 3 games in a row. And first 2 games, he had 0 points. I just want to point that out, Ona. First 2 games. Thank you. You had 0 points. We still lost, but my man had 0 points. The last game, he had about 6, maybe 8.
Yeah, clearly you were tired.
I was gone. And I wanted to stop. They're like, let's play one more back to back. I was like, give me 5 minutes to breathe. They're like, no, let's go. And then Ona looked at me. He was like, yeah, sir, I'm about to work you out this game. I was like, golly, this is not going to be good.
Look, at any point, you just give me of course, I'm saying this live now. You just let me know, hey, Queen, call me at 9:45.
You think I'm near my phone? Like, I'm not going to hear that. But I got you next time. But today we are talking about self-management and self-discipline. There are definitely some overlaps in it. Maybe I need to manage how much I play basketball a little bit more.
Yes, I'm gonna give you an allowance from now on.
An allowance. Oh, y'all see how I get in trouble that quick. But we're gonna talk about self-management versus self-discipline, how you can practice those things, and maybe what are some traps or some resources that you can do. And the Queen's gonna be holding us down because I'm holding on by something. I don't know if a thread is the right word to call it. I'm holding on by some material.
Hair.
A hair, possibly, but I got strong hair. We got that strong. You know what I'm talking about. All right, wait, get focused. Queen, are you ready?
Are you ready for some podcast?
All right, we're out. Again, I apologize for the vocals, but hey, if you dig in the vocals, let us know. And yes, we are drinking that Harmless Harvest. One day they'll sponsor us. If y'all got a plug, definitely let us know because we give them a lot of money every week.
Look, we were sitting on the couch the other day and I looked down and saw like 4 bottles of Harmless Harvest. And I was like, in a normal household, this would probably be like beer cans or soda cans, Gatorade, whatever it
Coconut
is.
water.
We got coconut water everywhere.
By the keg. But today, again, self-management, self-discipline. Before we get into the definition by the Queen, I want to say shout out to us for having the self-discipline and the team discipline to make it to episode 80.
80.
You know what I'm saying? We in here, 80 in the building. Shout out to the whole TH4 squad. Many more to come, and we definitely need to do something special for that centennial, something special for that 100th episode. We got to do something. We might be in Africa when it happens. I think let's plot that out. If we can be in Ghana and do the 100th, I think that'd be fire.
Will we? 20
well, let's
weeks
plot it.
from
I'm
now?
not gonna do math right now, Sinclair. Don't hurt him.
I feel
But
like
Queen, Self-management.
Like around our birthdays, which might be cool.
Queen, self-management. Gotta get you focused. Please go over the definition, and Jair, if you can pull it up for us, we appreciate you.
Yes. So, self-management. Self-management, we have the management. Don't you hate when they use the word in the
definition? Like, be creative.
The management of or by oneself, the taking of responsibility for one's own behavior and well-being. All right. So I'm gonna repeat that one more time.
One more again.
We'll just run it back. Management, self-management. The management of or by oneself, the taking of responsibility for one's own behavior and well-being.
Yep.
For me, I think what stands out there is the taking of responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember when you first asked me,
here we go.
What is the difference between self-discipline and self-management? And I was like, they're different. Like, I know they're different. I had a hard time voicing how they were different. Then it hit me this morning. Because I'm like, okay, I'm a manager. Mm-hmm. But why is my title not discipliner? Right? There's a reason why they're different. Mm-hmm. Yes, discipline is a part of management, but it's only a part, right? There are other things. So that's what kind of made me jog my memory. I'm like, what outside of holding people accountable, at work, what other things are involved in managing someone else? Because it's going to be the same for yourself. So, I mean, I think it's like, you got goal setting, you got motivation, you got all of these things to help someone grow aside from just discipline.
Mm-hmm. So for me, responsibility for one's behavior and well-being. I think you can manage your own well-being. I think you can be responsible for your own well-being, but not necessarily do everything that you're supposed to be doing. Because mismanagement is a thing.
Yeah.
Misdiscipline, that doesn't exist. Either you have discipline or you don't have discipline, right?
Yeah.
But like, how many of y'all show up to a McDonald's, show up to a Nike, things aren't going well, and you're like, who's the manager here? What's going on? Because they may be doing something, but they're not doing their job well. So I feel like management is knowing what you should be doing. I should be waking up at 6 a.m. I should not be eating gluten and honey. I should give my wife a kiss every day, right? I know what I should be doing. There you go, Queen. I know what I should be doing. I know like the list, and I'll take responsibility for it. I may not blame other people, but I think for me, the difference between managing and discipline is knowing what you're supposed to be doing and actually doing what's on that list.
Mm-hmm. And I think, and I mentioned earlier, the key part there is taking responsibility. Because I feel like, right, if you're talking about a manager, that's what they do. That's that's why they have that title, is they take responsibility for whatever they're managing. Mm-hmm. So I feel like what that looks like for yourself is kind of like what you said. I'm not blaming anybody else for my shortcomings or for the way that my life is right now. I take full responsibility for that. And I feel like when you start to do that, then you can start your true like self-management, I think, journey. But I think unless you are to the point where you can take responsibility and own, what you do and the outcomes of what you do, then I think you're mismanaging rather than self-managing.
Gotcha. So are you ready to pull up the definition of disciplines? We can have a direct.
Yes.
Woo. Okay, let's pull up the definition of discipline, please. And Queen, go ahead and hit it.
All right. So self-discipline is the ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses. The ability to pursue what one thinks is right despite of temptations to abandon it.
Ooh.
Right.
So a few words that I love in there.
Can I read it one more time?
Please, hey, hit them one more time.
One more time. Down. The ability to control one's feelings and overcome one's weaknesses. The ability to pursue what one thinks is right despite temptations to abandon it.
Intriguing. So words that stand out to me: one, ability to control one's feelings.
Yeah,
that hit right there. Discipline. All right, if you just stop right there, the ability to control your feelings. How many times do other people make you do something just off of you reacting to them. We kind of talked about that today at the basketball court too, how like you can start talking trash to somebody and all of a sudden they start making small mistakes that they wouldn't usually make because emotionally they're reacting differently. Right. So for you, whether it's in your job, whether it's your kids, your partner, how are you making sure that you are not losing control of your feelings? And then there was another one I liked in here. Ooh, yeah. Overcoming one's weaknesses. And what I like about those combination of words, shout out to whoever made this definition. Maybe it was Webster. I don't know. Shout out to you, Webster. Who's Webster?
Merriam-Webster. I think that's what
that's the person's name.
I think.
Okay, they know a lot of words. So they know a lot of words. So
like, how do they come? Sorry, tangent. How do they come up with definitions?
I don't got the energy, Queen. I'm not gonna lie. You can blame Ona Power for today's podcast. So, but overcoming one's weaknesses means that it's different for every single person, which I love about that.
Yeah.
Right. If my weakness is food, right? Lamb chops, which were fire last night. My weakness is that, yeah, well done, Queen. Well done, Queen. That's gonna be different from the Queen's weakness, will maybe sweets, right? Which would be different from my little brother's weakness, which may be doing 1,000 push-ups every day. I don't know. Demetrius be doing his thing. But I love how discipline literally looks different based on what your particular weak spot, what your kryptonite is.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, I think it's to your point. Like it's one for me, like you said, it may be not eating sweets, but for you, that's going to be a piece of cake that doesn't take any discipline for you because that's not your weakness. So I think that that's interesting. The part that stood out to me, as you can tell by the one I made the graphic, the red words, is despite temptations to abandon it, because I think that that's even the reason for discipline, why you need discipline in the first place. Is because we all have those temptations to abandon what we know what we're supposed to do. Facts. For whatever reason it be, whether it's external, internal, we have those temptations to abandon whatever it is. So I think that that's a really key piece, is that discipline is there because we all have those temptations. So you need to, make sure that when you're trying to stay disciplined, there is a reason for that, and make sure that you don't let yourself heed to those temptations, because then you're not being disciplined. Like that's pretty much the definition. Right. I know that's the hard part, but and we'll talk about ways that tools you can use and things like that to stay disciplined. It doesn't always have to be you just telling yourself do this and you do it. Like utilize other people in your life and things like that. We'll get into that later, but that's what stuck out to me.
And that last part, great point. That last part also connected to episode, what was that? Self-sabotage. What episode was that? 75, 76? One of those episodes. Great episode. Go back, watch the self-sabotage episode, because in that we talk about the book The War of Art, and how literally the more important something is to you, the more distractions and the more you will procrastinate. And with that last line, which was despite temptations to abandon it, sometimes those temptations aren't quote unquote negative temptations, right? It could be like, oh, I'm working on this board game idea right now, and then another idea comes that tempts me to spend my time and my consciousness on that idea. Or someone invites me to, hey, come do this nonprofit event, come go to this concert, come do this other thing that may not intrinsically be negative, and I might not see it as a negative temptation, but it's still tempting me away. Right. It's drawing me away from what the real goal is. So yes, self-management, self-discipline, both two things to definitely be conscious about, be aware of as you're going into your journey, as you're going and accomplishing your dreams. And yeah, let's maybe start getting into some tangibles, some resources.
Okay, sounds good. So how does self-discipline and self-management, how do they work together in your life? What are some aspects that they work together in your life? So I have some examples.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Do you have someone you'd like to start off with?
I'm just gonna say it because it was in my consciousness, because I thought you were asking me a question. You were looking at me like, how do you? And I was like, oh, I do. And then you were like, I'm gonna go. I'm like, oh, she pump fake me, y'all. Oh, okay. She hit me with the Woo! All right. If you liking her pump fake me, go ahead and click like, subscribe. We appreciate you. But first, I feel like the management comes first. You have to know kind of what's on my list, what's on my plate to do. The discipline, I think, comes second. Once you know what you have to do, stick to what you know you have to do.
Right.
And I feel like for me, this is what I'm trying to get a little better in, because I do have shiny thing syndrome, whatever that's called, where it's like, oh, we can do this idea. Oh, how about this? Oh, we can do the podcast in augmented reality. Oh, we could do, and it's just like, Devon, do these things, do them well, and do them the way that you said you're going to do them before you add more things on. So I feel like management, boom, write down your list of things that are truly important to you, things that you truly want to prioritize. And then secondary is figure out, I think we'll get into this later, figure out what needs to happen, what tools you need to have the discipline to achieve those things on your list. Yeah, yes. You like that little clap?
I did. Yes, I agree. I think some other ways that they work, like to your point, you can't be disciplined unless you first know what you even need to be disciplined
Facts.
for, right?
Facts.
Otherwise, what are you disciplined for?
Right, because you can say I'm disciplined and I watch TV every single day. I mean, you're doing what you said you're going to do, I guess. Right. But I feel like, yeah, you need to have that destination of things that are on your list to truly have that discipline.
And also, you could be like, oh, I'm gonna do 100 push-ups every day. But if looking good and if being strong is not important to you, is that really going to be fulfilling to you at all, to actually be disciplined in that area? You need to find something that is going to be meaningful for you and actually get you towar's the goal of whatever you want.
Not easy.
Right. And maybe, and sure, it's cool to start off maybe that way to build your confidence to get things done. But eventually you need to go ahead and really think about what is your goal?
Yeah.
What are things to get you to that goal, and how are you going to stay disciplined?